Hey, Marcus.
How you doing?
All right, man. I'm glad you was able to make it, man, because I want my car. I need my car, bro.
I understand you have some car troubles. We're here to fix it.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Oh, Marcus. Man, this is nice, man.
Got everything to do the job.
Okay. That is wonderful. You are truly mobile.
First thing we're doing is we're plugging up the computer to run a diagnostic on an OBD2 system, and we're checking to see what the codes are in the computer. The codes are telling us that there's an issue with the vehicle, and when we plug the computer up, it'll tell us how to correct those codes, or how to correct the issues that are going on with it. The first code that we have in here is a code which is P2104. It's saying throttle actuator control system forced idle. Basically, that's saying that this is what's called a fly-by-wire throttle body, and actually right now the electronics inside of it are malfunctioning and causing it to force itself to idle at a certain level, so it causes the car to sputter or run funny. Then when you go to the second code, there's a total of 5 codes in the system for this. We have another code P2106. That one is saying throttle actuator control system forced, limited power. That's when you try to accelerate and it kind of sputters. Then we have the P2111, which is throttle actuator control system stuck open. So now the computer is telling us that it's saying open, partially open, not all the way, but partially open, but it's stuck in an open position. Then you have the P2135, which is throttle pedal position sensor switch and AB voltage correlation. Basically, the sensor that's on the throttle pedal, because it is a fly-by-wire system, is not able to recognize how the throttle position is being open right now. Then you go to the pressure control solenoid, the circuit malfunction. It's all dealing again with the whole entire throttle position. So first thing I want to do is I actually want to go in here and I want to reset the computer and see if resetting the computer will cause us to eliminate the code. Because a lot of times, any type of computer, you have to reboot it sometimes to get it to function properly. And I'm hoping and believing that this will solve this problem on this one, so then we don't have to worry about going to spend money to buy a brand new throttle.
Where's that thing they're talking about? Where is it?
Where is it? Let me show you. This is your throttle body, and this is the actuator right here. You have a little motor right here, and then you have your control solenoid. Both of these items right here are controlled by the computer. It reads a signal from the computer, and it tells it when to open and when to close. As it opens, it gives you more air into the system from the intake, going into the intake, more air, fuel mixture, fuel ratio mixture, and that's how the car accelerates and decelerates. As basically, a lot of times you have these things to malfunction because the computers or the pack inside they just go awry sometimes, just because it is an electronic device.
You know, that's what when I was on the freeway, it just started to, it cut out on me once, and then when I was on South Cobb, and then when I got on the freeway, it was sort of like it was just kind of, you know, trying to struggle to accelerate. That's the word, yeah.
What was happening was inside here, this was not opening wide enough.
Okay.
So as you hit the accelerator, it wasn't sensing it. We do have a code saying that the throttle pedal, that sensor on the throttle pedal, is actually malfunctioning. But the main codes that come up first, you always go by the first code that comes up.
Okay.
That's the main one. The main code that comes up first is dealing with the throttle body. So when you get that, that leads me to believe that the throttle body is actually malfunctioning, not the actual pedal.
Okay.
So first thing I want to do in order to try and reset the system is I want to go ahead and disconnect the post on the battery.
Okay.
You disconnect your positive terminal on the battery, and this actually will allow the computer to do a hard boot.
Oh.
So what I'll do is I'll disconnect this, and then I'll disconnect this one. If you touch both the terminals together, that actually is what's called a reset of the system. On most cars, the battery terminal is 8mm. You always remove the negative first. Just knocking off any corrosion that might have built up on it. just so you know, since I'm disconnecting everything, you have to reset everything inside as far as the radio and the time.
Oh, okay.
Got some spray for that. Just take both of them, contact them together, 5-10 minutes, not 5 to 10 seconds, 15 at the most. That will basically do what we consider a hard boot of the system.
Okay.
All right, before I do connect these back on, I'm gonna spray the stuff with the battery. It's basically anywhere where there's any battery acid, it'll turn red.
Oh, okay.
Okay, go ahead and put the positive on first. Tighten it up. Hear everything jump. That's exactly what happens because now
Okay.
the system has re-engaged itself. We're going to go ahead and we are going to reset the system. Let's see what we come up with. First thing we'll do, go ahead and crank it up. At this time, we have no check engine light because we completely reset the system.
Oh, wow.
If you notice, the vehicle is running smooth, it's purring.
Yeah.
And I'm quite sure I'm going to let it warm up a little bit, even though it's warm outside. The internal components of the engine are not fully warm yet.
Right.
So I'll let it run for a few seconds. I'm going to hear the idle die down a little bit, then I'll go ahead and accelerate. We'll take it for a quick test drive to see how where we end up.
Okay. Oh, amazing.
On the interim, I'm going to go ahead and run what's called a data stream. Now, while I'm running the data stream, what this does, this allows me to check everything.
What were you looking for on the door panel?
On the door panel, tell by the date, the actual year the vehicle was manufactured.
Okay.
This is not a sport, is it?
No.
Find out what size engine we have. The way I found out the engine is by looking at the VIN number. K. K is a 4.0 single overhead cam. It's not a super. Okay, right now I'm pulling up all the information, and this is going to give me a complete information on what the data is right now. This is the mile status since it's been turned off since we reset the system. This one right here is the engine speed, telling us how many RPMs we have right now. Absolute, that's the throttle position sensor. It's telling me where the throttle is right now at 16.5 degrees. Then you have the barometric calculation, of course your mass airflow, your map sensor, outside air temperature, 84 degrees. Tells me the temperature of the coolant right now. We just crunk it up and it's at 117 degrees.
Okay.
That's internally inside the engine, how hot it is with the coolant.
Wow.
Here's our ignition advance. Our fuel system is closed. And that's the throttle position again. And that's the throttle command. And that's telling us 5.5 right now.
So is that normal? It's telling us
Well, it's gonna constantly, it'll constantly move. Yeah. Okay. So, it's throttle position B. Accelerating. So it'll tell us when we accelerate and all those things. So we'll just go ahead and go on it.
Okay.
Mr. Kelly driving. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to see how we accelerate on these hills. It's one good thing about your neighborhood is pretty hilly. Right. How's that feel?
Oh man, that's awesome.
Okay, now we have one sensor that just went off. It's the ABS sensor. Have you been having any issues with that light coming on?
I don't even know what that is.
That's the anti-lock brake system.
No, I haven't had no problem, but it always come on.
It always does come on?
Yeah.
Okay, then there's a sensor. I will check that in a minute to find out what the problem is. You know, all of our commands as far as our throttle and everything, it's all functioning properly.
Wow.
Like I said, sometimes the computer can just act up.
Yeah, just like your home computer, right?
Yeah. Same identical thing. You want to reboot it and see how it actually wants to run.
Okay.
See that good acceleration?
Man, yeah.
Good acceleration. I know it's 25 miles an hour. Don't want to put that on the tape.
Right. Yeah, we'll cut that out.
Yeah. I mean, everything is responding quite well. And just for giggles, let's go up to the Ford dealership.
Okay.
And ask them how much they want to charge for a throttle body. But just from everything that I'm reading right now, as far as our commands and everything is great.
Okay.
Accelerating fine. Man, it's running good.
Yes, it is.
Got my acceleration like I need to. Like I said, no codes, none whatsoever. I'm gonna go ahead and while it's running, I'm gonna go ahead and do just do a diagnostic code, just read code, see if we have any pending codes, anything coming up.
Okay.
System pass. Okay, only code we have right now is the OBD system, and it's readiness test not complete, which is a drive cycle. So basically, let's see if you see that on there. Basically, it's just telling us that the car hasn't been driven enough miles for it to completely diagnose itself. For a complete diagnosis on most General Motors or Ford vehicles or any American-made vehicle, it's between 150 to 250 miles.
Okay.
And it goes at different ranges of how fast you go, how slow you go.
Right.
It has one range, and it bases it on no faster than 65 miles an hour. That'll be your city and town driving. Okay. Then you have another range which is 65 and above, and that's your highway driving. Okay. And it just diagnoses all the systems to let you know how's everything functioning with the vehicle. Yada 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 yada.
Right. So. Okay. Wonderful.
It's running good. Running good. I just believe it was just a little hiccup.
Right.
Now what we are going to do, what I'll do when we get back, I have to go get some. Isn't there an auto parts store up the street?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good. We'll go up there. I want to go ahead and clean the throttle body.
Okay.
And then that way, we'll clean all the sensors that's inside, and hopefully everything works fine.
Okay. How you doing?
Good, dude.
Yeah. Long time no see.
Probably in the future.
Okay, Margaret, what did they say?
Basically, they said that they do carry it, they have one in stock, and retail cost of the part is $330.
Whoa! $300.
$330, right?
Wow.
That's not them installing anything or anything like that. That's just the part itself.
Okay.
That's not bad when you think about how major that component is.
Right.
So it's about right.
Okay. So why are we coming here, Marcus?
We were going to get some stuff to actually clean the throttle body out.
Okay.
It's called it's a throttle body cleaner.
Yeah.
And we'll clean the throttle body, and at the same time, I'll also clean the mass airflow sensor. Mass airflow sensor reads the amount of pressure that's going through the system to the intake. When it's reading improperly, then the car will actually stutter, and you actually will get less gas mileage with that device.
All right.
Carburetor radiator choke and throttle body cleaner.
Okay.
This is one of the best ones right here. It's very potent, very strong smell, but it actually does work really well.
Okay.
And you'll see all the gunk and all that come off. Yes, sir. Come take a look. You can see all the carbon that's in the chemical. See the brown?
Oh yeah.
That's all that's coming from inside your intake area.
Okay.
On the other side of the throttle body.
Right. Oh
So
yeah.
now we're gonna go in here. We're gonna wipe. We're gonna wipe every area down. See that?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, and then we're also gonna wipe on the inside. As you can see,
Yeah.
it's all that stuff coming out. See what he's doing to the gloves?
Yes. Yep.
There's fins that are like inside there, They're like lines. They're basically like fins, and they help channel how the airflow goes through the throttle body.
Okay.
If you look on one side of it, you actually see they'll actually be clean. If I lift this up, you can see inside there. See the fins?
Oh yeah.
Point now. Just gotta fire it up. Alright. Now we're gonna go ahead and put our hose back on. Top of the throttle.
Oh, let me, Mark, could I take a look at that? Because it looks clean. Can you pull that out one more time?
Sure.
I want to get a close up.
Alright.
Oh,
See
yeah.
the difference?
Yeah.
So we got a little bit of the chemical coming out.
Yeah, it just comes, yeah, that, like you say. Oh, it's clean, yeah.
See that?
Wow. Okay.
So now the air can flow through better.
That's right.
Now this is how it's going to sound. It's going to sound like a piece of junk when we crank it up.
Okay.
You can see smoke coming out of the rear end.
Yes, that's right.
That's all that chemical being burnt off.
Right. All right.
You just cleaned out your throttle body. It's running a little bit smoother too.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds now, yeah. Like you said, it did sound like a piece of junk when you first started, didn't it?
It actually doesn't want to crank because it's over flooding the spark plugs with the chemical.
Okay.
You smell that? Smell like burning it all off. That's it.
All right.
What we just finished doing was I was called out to this vehicle to inspect it because it was not accelerating properly, hesitating, seemed like it was misfiring. I did the computer diagnostic, as you saw earlier when I had the scan tool with me. It allowed me to diagnose the system and find out what the codes were. After ascertaining what the problem is, I went in and I rebooted the system. Allowed the system to do a hard boot, clear the codes out, and from that point the vehicle's been running quite well ever since then. We went on a test drive. There were no issues, no check engine codes or anything. I ran another test just to see after we cleared the system out. Everything said system passed. The only thing that we're concerned about now is the drive cycle. We want to make sure the drive cycle will clear, but that's going to be between 250 miles. If we do have another check engine light problem or it starts slowing down, then what that tells us is we're going to have to replace the throttle body. What I did, I also went and I cleaned the throttle body out to make sure that there's no a whole lot of gunk or a buildup of carbon inside this intake system or inside the throttle body, so the air can flow through it better, and also the sensors can read better as far as the throttle body opening and closing. Other than that, and as you can see, when we go and crank the vehicle up, it fires right up. As we turn the key, running everything, and you might want to come in here and look on the dash. We have no codes on the dash, no check engine light, nothing.
Yeah.
So from this point, the vehicle is running properly. Eventually, we will need to do another tune-up on it and check a few other things. But from what I see right now, the vehicle's running good. So we'll believe the best.
All right. We forgot to go by the bank and get get some cash, man.
Oh, we're not concerned about that. We take care of that. We actually have a credit card machine. It is a wireless machine.
Cool.
So it doesn't matter where we go. We could be somewhere in the North Georgia mountains. As long as there's a cell phone tower we're able to get a signal, we can process your credit card information. You want to do debit or credit?
Credit.
You just hit the button right there that says credit. It's all touch screen system. It's really unique because this actually transfers the funds into our company's account within a day. Now, it's transmitting, it's processing right now. In a moment, you get a receipt. There you go. It's approved.
We might look out there, scroll like that.
Just sign right there, Richard.
Okay.